advisory. Rosenthal has completed their work on the Oxbow Road next to the gravel, or correctionally pit. Normal traffic may be resumed in your area.
It's about 10:30 Wednesday morning. A little cloudy, probably 45 degrees. No wind. Not like yesterday. It was real windy yesterday. This is PBOC here on the right. Tarmac Camp coming up on the left. Be reddish brown one-story building on the left here, just on the other side where that bus is pulling out. And that's Tarmac Camp. That's where I sleep. Well, I guess you didn't get a very good look at it. That's Tarmac Camp. It's August 28th today. We had snow a few days ago. It didn't stick, but it was coming down in big flakes. The MCC on the right, main construction camp. A lot of people live there and work there. I'm going to turn left down here and drive off the lease. We're going through a security checkpoint after I turn left. Have to stop and scan my badge and wait for the guy inside the security shack to give me a wave off. He waves at me, then I can drive on. Then we'll be off the lease and in Dead Horse proper. Picture's probably pretty shaky because the road's pretty bumpy. Drill site 1 on the right there, that big green building and the associated well houses. This is the east checkpoint security gate I'm coming up to. buildings in front here, that's the beginning of Dead Horse. We're going to drive right through it. I don't know if you can see the mountains in the horizon back there. There's some rain coming down. That's the Brooks Range. Big gray warehouse on the right. They just built that in the last year or so. Went up pretty fast.
Advisory, CY crews continue their work on line between drill site 6 and drill site 13. Normal traffic figure is 73.
Yep, it's beautiful downtown Dead Horse. Bus is turning left. It's going to the airport. That lake in front of us is called Colleen Lake. Lake Colleen. parking on the side of the road, so the speed limit's 5 miles an hour. Looks like a survey crew. And there's another checkpoint up here. It's called the Central Checkpoint. After I go through that, then I'll be back on the BP oil lease. Back on the oil field. Okay, back on the oil field. See it yet in the camera, but there's a facility up there, big green facility in front of us, and that's called Flow Station 3 or Flow 3. And then to the left of that is Pump Station 1 at the beginning of the pipeline that goes all the way to Valdez. And looks like both facilities are flaring a little bit. There's some flame on the right, and flare stack on the left is got a pretty good flare going. The flares from excess natural gas. They vent it to the atmosphere, and rather than creating an explosive situation, they just burn it off. Yeah, believe it or not, the road will be a lot smoother once winter gets here and it's frozen up and packed down with snow and ice. It'll be a lot smoother driving, and I'll probably take another video then and be less bumpy. So that's I think you can probably see flow 3 now, flow station 3 right in front of us. And then the one with that taller flame, that's pump 1. As you can see, it's pretty flat out here. It's flat everywhere pretty much. There's a few places looks like dunes, small rises in the ground and stuff east of here. They're not very tall, 30 or 40 feet tall maybe, but they stand out because everything else is so flat. This place up here on the left is a well pad. I don't know which one, but there's the control room and the main process facility on the left, and then those smaller green boxes are just well houses. Oh, it's drill site 14. That's what the sign says. On the east side of the field, they're called drill sites. On the west side of the field, they're called well pads. They're the same exact thing. You get oil out of the ground and send it to a flow station or a gathering center. This tower coming up here right in front of us on the big satellite dish, that's AT&T's Earth Station. There's another shot of pump 1 in the flare stack. And this little cluster of buildings on the right is called Skid 50. I'm not sure why it's called Skid 50 because I don't know of a Skid 49 or a Skid 51, but this is Skid 50 up here. There's several old buildings and then several new buildings that are only 5 or 6 years old. The first project I had up here as a network engineer was to design the fiber optic cable to these buildings on the right back to Flow Station 3. Across a little creek there. And this blue facility coming up here is called CPS, stands for Central Power Station. That's where all of our electricity is generated and sent out on these transmission lines. Just had some work in there the last few days. This green facility on the right up here, that's GC3, Gathering Center 3. That's what all the well pads feed their oil to, and the crude oil, and it's processed here and separated out. They separate out water and natural gas and some other some volatile compounds. On the west side of the field, they're called gathering centers. On the east side of the field, they're called flow stations. They do the same thing. And this is Gathering Center 3 right here on the right. This cluster of buildings in front of us up here, kind of green, dark green colored, is called the BOC, the Base Operations Camp. That's where I'm heading right now. There are hundreds of people that live there and work there. And My buddy and I are going to work on what they call the MCC bus. I don't remember what MCC stands for in this case, but it's Emergency Command Post. It's got cameras and radio gear, and they've got a couple new cameras on it that are mounted to a mast that goes up and down on the outside. Then they have a TV monitor inside, and they want us to hook the cameras up to the monitor somehow. We're going to go in here to the BOC and have lunch, and then go take a look at the bus and see what we can do. And the green facility up there in front, we're not going to go that far. That's Gathering Center 1, GC1. We're pulling in here at BOC. Look closely on the right. There's a plastic wolf on a stake right here by the water, right in front of the truck right now. I think they have that there to keep the birds out of the water, keep them from backing up traffic here. You get a lot of ducks and geese and swans up here. This is the BOC, and I hope you enjoyed the trip from PBOC to BOC by way of Dead Horse.